and today we're going to make Jewish apple cake. Let's get started. This cake, ironically the recipe comes borrowed from my Roman Catholic parish cookbook. And so I have to give credit to Mary Whelan for this recipe. She was clearly on the cookbook committee because about 60% of the recipes are hers. It calls for 8 medium-sized apples. I'm using Fuji apples. And this cake, when it bakes in the oven, is in for a good hour and a half. So there's really not any real reason to take off the peels. And all the apples end up internalized anyway, so you don't need to remove the peels either. So I like to cut them into, I'd say about 3/4 of an inch cubes, roughly. I always like, when I get apple cake, I like finding big pieces of apple in there. So you just run through it a couple times after you split it in half. Just cut out the core straight down with your knife. If you have an apple core, it's the perfect time to use it. For the amount, all the gadgets I have, that's not one I have, but I can use my knife just quick enough. So let's finish these up. Okay, now once we have our apples all cut up, we're going to add to it 8 tablespoons of sugar, and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And, cinnamon and apples, I always say, don't spare the whip. We're going to give this a stir. Get them all covered. They're going to start to form a little syrup around them. I know a lot of times with apples you worry about them browning or anything like that, but we're not worried about that at all with this. One thing I like to add to start that process a little bit, just a little bit of salt. Salt has a place in both sweet and savory dishes. Alright. Once you have them all well coated, take a good smell, enjoy it, and then have it sit in the fridge for a couple hours to chill. At least an hour. Alright, here we are. We're ready to make our apple cake now. Our apples have chilled. I have starting here 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. Regular white sugar. Nope. 1 cup of cooking oil. I'm just going to use plain canola oil. Good neutral flavor. done this with corn oil before, but that was fine. I would probably recommend against using something like a peanut oil. Probably just too much flavor. Alright, 4 eggs. Alright, now if you do what I just did and get a little bit of shell in there, the best thing to get shell out is with another eggshell. And there we go, it's no tragedy. And a half a cup of orange juice. A tablespoon of baking powder. And a tablespoon of vanilla. And now you could use your big beater, stand mixer for this, but I think that's a little bit overkill. Just going to use my whisk here and start to beat it together. Just like any cake, you don't want to overbeat it because you'll mess with the texture. Just want to really make sure all your ingredients are fully integrated. And once you get to look like this, where you don't have any huge lumps, it's a good time to change tools. And go to a wooden spoon or a big old spatula. So I'm going to go with a big spatula here and make sure I've gotten off the bottom. And now that I have a pretty smooth mixture here, I'm going to add in my apples. I want to get all that juice that may have come out of them. And we're going to fold this in. Here in the Philadelphia region, we have a good, strong Jewish population and some great bakeries, especially in northeast Philadelphia. Castor Gardens area, also up in Ronhurst. You have I like Lipkin's Bakery right on Castor Avenue. They're really good. Make a good knish too. Alright. So this is what our batter looks like once all put together. And now I have greased up my bun pan here. And we're just going to add this all in here. found this is a cake with a good shelf life. But I'll have to figure out what neighbor is going to share with me today. Alright, got that all in there. And I like to make sure it's even out, give it a good shimmy and thwack. I'm going to put that into a preheated oven on the middle rack, 350 degrees. This takes about an hour and a half. So start looking in at about 80 minutes in. It could take up to 2 hours. So I'll check in with you in a little bit. Alright, so it's been 90 minutes. And here we have our apple cake. Now, check I've done this. I grabbed a toothpick and I poked her in there, and it came out clean. I did it in a couple different places just to make sure. One thing with the apple cake is you have to check it, because if you stab an apple, you know, it might not come out the same way. So you want to make sure you get just cake. So I'm going to let this cool for a good 15 or 20 minutes. It's still going to finish cooking a little bit in the pan. And then I'm going to take it out, cut it up, and serve it. Alright, so we let our apple cake cool. Now we're going to take her out of the mold. Grab a plate. Say a quick prayer. And there we go. That came out pretty nice. Now let's see. Alright, there you go. The first piece always comes out like crap, but it looks good. It smells good. And by golly, it tastes good. So there you go, Jewish apple cake. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy.